it's time for Ghost and Crendor!
Ghost and Crendor in the morning.
In the morning! Broadcasting live! Before our recording studio audience. Recording! Wake your ass up! It's the Crendor in the morning! Hello there, everybody! It's Monday! And you know what that means? It's time for another exciting episode of Cox and Crendor in the morning.
We missed Friday.
We did. But we have good reason. Well, I have good reason.
Yeah. I was ready to do it.
I went to The Hobbit, and it was midnight, and then I came home, and then I had a big, live stream internet event Friday, and so I made the judgment call that I wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
Hate me all you want, I decided not to. It wasn't really a judgment call, it was I went to bed. Didn't really think about it much. We were going to try and do it before The Hobbit, but I had filming and stuff to do, so I was just like, you know what? Balls to y'alls. I'm gonna go do my thing. That's what I did. My thing.
I'm not gonna judge you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the last time I'll ever say that to you, so cherish it.
I will. I've already processed that audio clip and stored it away in my Z drive.
Is that your brain? My Z drive?
That's my super secure drive.
Wow. I'm honored.
Yes.
So that's pretty much what happened Friday. By the way, saw The Hobbit, loved it.
You did not agree with the bad reviews on Rotten Tomatoes that
you know
the 48 what? FPS ruins it and that it's slow.
You know what? It was not slow. Here's the thing. I was sitting in the theater waiting for it to be slow. It was over before I was like, all right, when does this get slow? And it was over. And I was like, whoa, hold up. What did they think was slow? I guess maybe they thought the beginning where there's maybe like a 15-20 minute period where Bilbo tells the backstory of like the intro, and then it does this little bit with I guess you would say like present day Bilbo, which makes no sense, but it's a scene that takes place, I would say, roughly 5 minutes before the start of the very first Lord of the Rings movie, and it has Frodo and all the characters, and that maybe is where they said slow, and then there's a bit where the dwarves show up, but that's all like so you can get to know the characters and stuff like that. I loved it. I was like, these dwarves, they're comical geniuses.
It's mainly just people complaining to complain.
I think it is. The one complaint that people had that I could kind of see and agree with is a lot of people felt that it felt like the first Lord of the Rings movie, where it's just we're on a quest and we're gonna go walk across various New Zealand vistas and there are scenes like that, but I like that. So
Wait, is it just one movie or is it a trilogy?
It's a trilogy.
Oh, okay. And
they're setting it up so it sort of flows into the Lord of the Rings films because they're adding stuff from, I think it's the Silmarillion. I don't know if that's the pronunciation. I'm sure someone will have a better one. But it's the other book that it's sort of the backstory and the lore of the entire Middle-earth universe. And so they're adding parts of that in. So they're adding things that weren't in The Hobbit into this to sort of fill out the gaps because there are parts of The Hobbit, the actual book, which, unlike the Lord of the Rings, I've actually read The Hobbit. And so,
I did too.
Right? I think everyone as a child read The Hobbit. I don't know about Lord of the Rings because that was a lot of words. A lot of words. Gandalf leaves every once in a while, and they don't really say why he does what he does, like why he leaves the group and where he goes. But in this one, they explain what happens, and that stuff I love. That why Gandalf does what he does, why they're starting this whole mission, why all of it is taking place. That I think is great. So yes, I thought it was wonderful. And to the reviewers who didn't like it, why don't you regain your sense of wonder, douchebags?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I got all the extended Lord of the Rings, because then once I watched them, I was like, whoa, it fills in lots of parts that they cut out for time.
Right? Like in the last Lord of the Rings movie, where Gandalf meets the Witch King, the Witch King of Angmar. They meet each other, and then the horn blows, right? And then they cut that scene. Well, in the extended edition, they are, like, battling, and the Witch King blows up his staff. That's why, in the next scene, he doesn't have a staff anymore. In the movie, you're like, wait, didn't that dude just have a staff?
Yeah.
But they cut that scene out. And then the sword he uses, in this movie, they show how he gets the sword he uses. So it's, like, full circle,
Or
man.
even with, like, the Ghost Mountain. Like, they go inside the Ghost Mountain and convince the ghost people to, like, fight with them. And, like, in the original thing, they just, like, cut that all out. And then there's, like, random ghosts that are like, hey, we'll fight for you now.
I mean, there's so much, and that's what I like about it. In a movie like that, where there's so much detail, if you're gonna make a 3-hour movie, 3 hours and 30 minutes doesn't make much of a difference to me. Like, this movie's 2 hours and 46 minutes, and I'm like, I could have gone longer. I was enjoying myself, and it was midnight. We got out of there at 3 a.m., and I was still awake, and like, I love this movie. I had a great time.
I can't wait to get all the Hobbit extended versions and then go on like a 24-hour watch everything marathon.
The one thing that I did love is that they had Hobbit 3D glasses, and they have like the Hobbit logo on the side. I was like, I'm keeping these and taking them to every single one. I'm so excited. Oh, and the scene with Gollum and Bilbo is worth the price of admission alone. Like, that 25-minute chunk of the movie is pretty stellar. Andy Serkis should just play that character forever. In fact, we should design a surgical procedure in order to transform Andy Serkis into Gollum permanently.
I see.
And just have him live in a cave and become a tourist attraction. The man, that's all he should be doing.
Daddy, look at the strange man in the cage.
Ah, that's precious. I want that so badly. Yeah, but we actually, speaking of dangerous journeys and perilous treks, today, coming home, we're getting ready to record this, and it's at an hour where not many people are up and around and doing stuff, and so I tried to get into my parking garage for my apartment, and the gate would not open, and I had no clue how to get inside. I was just like, okay, I can't, there's no street parking. There's nowhere to park around here. What am I supposed to do? So I had to call the management, and they had to call a dude to come out and manually open the garage. And all that's fine and dandy. That's wonderful. It hit me. With all this talk of the end of the world on the 21st, which is total bubkiss, not real. But if the world were to end, or power were to go out, or would go out or anything, right? Even if I had a full tank of gas and was prepared to leave and evacuate the city, I still couldn't because my garage door wouldn't open. And it's a giant metal gate thing like that goes down, and it's super heavy. So there's no way you can just lift it up. So basically, I would be stuck here. I would die. I found this out very early in the morning, and I was like, well, that's not very comforting, but can't do anything about it. So I guess I'm screwed.
Well, you could run.
And I would, the wolves, I assume, once the world ends, the wolves would eat me. If the angry Mayans didn't get me first.
No, that's true. The robot Mayans.
The robot Mayans they're just waiting. They're waiting in the pyramids, as we learned last week.
Oh, we get to do the podcast for then.
That's entirely assuming we know which time zone the world ends in.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because does it end for the Australians first, and then we get to watch the world slowly vaporize one time zone at a time as it hits midnight?
The robot Mayans start in Australia and just work their way outward.
They slowly take their time.
They're like, is it midnight in the next place?
They just wait on the border of the time zone. We must wait. Calculating procedures. If they destroy everyone at midnight on the 21st, then that's unfair to people where it's still the 20th. Those are some good hours we could still be using.
Those are a lot of good hours we could be being productive.
Just saying, I don't think it would be very nice of them. I'm not saying that I would fight against them, because as you know, I for one welcome our new overlords.
I do as well. I will. Wait, don't we do this like every episode? We have to, because then we won't die.
Coxing Crendor and Blorknock in the morning. Blorknock is the best robot Mayan name I can come up with.
Blorknock. Blorknock.
Coxing Crendor and Blorknock in the morning.
There's a guy named Joe Brecknock.
That's not even close to Blorknock.
Oh, wait, that's a woman. I learned something today.
I learned absolutely nothing. All right, now let's go. Oh,
hold on.
What?
Hold on.
Yeah?
Did you know that only stupid people claim to be abducted by aliens because the aliens keep the smart ones?
What?
It makes sense.
Where did you hear this?
On the internet.
It makes a weird amount of sense.
It does.
Right? The aliens abduct you, test you, and if you're stupid, they send you back.
George, I done went out in the fields looking for Bigfoot. Then I got abducted by the aliens.
How do you know that Bigfoot wasn't the aliens?
Whoa.
Whoa, indeed.
It's like Big Feet are the alien dogs.
What? All right, no, we're not going down this one.
I was ready to.
Somewhere, some guy's like, it all makes sense now, Mom.
He's gonna write a book.
Bigfoot, the dogs
by
of aliens.
Cox and Crendor.
And Blorknot. Cox and Crendor and Blorknot in the morning. Anyway, now it's time to go to Chapter 7 in the sky. Crendor, how is that traffic out there?
Well, since it's Monday, the traffic is really slow since everyone's depressed and going back to work or school. So what you can do is you can hop into your hover car and take that to where your destination is, unless you don't want to get there fast. Then you can just go slow like all the other people. And, touchdown.
You really made me do that fapping noise for an extra, 5 seconds. That hurts my hand.
Well, I had to say something.
Thanks. Now let's go over to Crendor at the weather desk to see how that weather's looking. Crendor.
We're gonna go to UK and Ireland today.
To UK and Ireland. That actually sounds like the name of a city in the UK. UK over Ireland, Shire.
Well, we're gonna go to Coleraine, UK. Coleraine. Sounds like a toothpaste.
It sounds like a type of soda. Coleraine.
I think it sounds like a toothpaste.
I think it sounds like the best gangsta style drink ever. They call that Coleraine. They call that Coleraine. There's more to that rap, but we need to move on.
Okay. Today in Coleraine, it is 4 degrees Celsius.
Uh-huh.
And today's forecast is a high of 6 degrees Celsius with a 40% chance of AM showers. The pollen index is out of season, UV index low. Aches and pains index is a 3.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
The temperature change is steady with a visibility of 16.1 kilometers with 990.86 MBs of pressure. I think it means megabytes.
It's the damn Matrix robots.
It is.
Here's the best part. Is most morning shows, when the new day starts, they talk about new subjects. We keep referring back to things that happened a week ago.
It's because
we can.
Are
it's because we can.
Extremely high quality around here.
High quality non-content. All right, now let's go over to Crendor at the sports desk.
All right, exciting sports news today because people played football in America. Jacoby Jones lost, but he had 3 catches for 51 yards.
It's not bad, Jacoby.
Not bad at all, Jacoby. I don't know if he had any kick returns, though. I don't think he did because they lost. So I imagine if he doesn't do that, they lose.
I imagine the same, yes.
And on the Greg Jennings report, the Packers won. So that's partially because Greg Jennings played. He also had 4 catches for 50 yards.
How many catches did Jacoby have?
He had 3 catches.
So basically, Jacoby Jones is a better player.
He is, but Greg Jennings put the team on his back to victory.
But Jacoby Jones didn't even need to do that. Oh, wait, no, he didn't. That's why they lost. Okay, never mind.
Yep. Jacoby gets the stats. Greg Jennings puts the team on his back.
If the two of them were together and Greg Jennings put Jacoby Jones on his back,
that may be
crap.
The greatest combination in history.
If Jacoby Jones somehow could ride on a little Greg Jennings saddle, we would have the best team ever.
Best team. They would just be called the Greg Jones. That's our great sports news coverage.
Sports! Now it's time for our number 1 best story of the day. Crendor, hit me with that story.
Well, this is a pretty cool story, which is I couldn't find any cool stories. So, I just found Mad Libs.
What?
Mad Libs! Remember Mad Libs?
This isn't news at all!
But, I couldn't find any good news stories. So, give me a male name.
What the heck? This isn't news at all!
We don't... Listen, there's plenty of news shows, like Good Morning America, that don't... Actually, most news shows don't report the news at all. They just have on little stupid things. And they're like, oh, today we're going to play hopscotch with Jimmy and co. And then they have Jimmy on. He's like, I'm from over here in the UK Coraline. And then they're like, oh. And then they play hopscotch on Good Morning America.
I like how I can't find a news story. The next best thing I can do is Mad Libs.
Right, well, give me a male name.
I'm gonna try to make this as news appropriate as possible.
How about Uncle
No.
Mark?
No.
We're going with Uncle Mark.
No, I'm the one who has to give you the names. I'm gonna try and save this. Barack Obama.
I don't want to use Barack Obama.
Barack Obama. We're making this newsworthy. Barack Obama.
City or town?
Moscow.
Moscow.
Adjective. This is like a descriptor, yeah? So, is coldly? Like he coldly?
I'll accept it.
Coldly?
Coldly. Singular noun.
Papers? Paper.
Female.
Newsworthy female. Kate Middleton.
Kate Middleton. Singular noun.
Baby Blanky.
Exclamation.
Shouting
like,
something?
wow!
Oh, Shabuzi.
Shabuzi. Male.
Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton. And a present tense verb is the last thing we need.
A present tense verb? Sit.
That would be sitting.
Sitting? Right? Is it?
Because it's present tense, like I am sitting.
Well, what about I sit?
Is that what you're going to tell someone? Like, what are you doing, Bob?
I sit. Thank you, American education system. Me sit.
All right. Here's our wacky Mad Lib.
Is this really all you created today?
It's called the Hanukkah Party.
Oh, no.
I may have replaced Barack Obama with Uncle Mark.
No, it's
Last week, my whole family went to a Hanukkah party at my Uncle Mark's house
at Barack
in
Obama's
Moscow.
house. At Barack Obama's house.
In Moscow. The first thing we did when we got there was open presents. Uncle Mark always gives us coldly
Barack
presents.
Obama.
This year he gave me a paper and my little sister Kate Middleton a baby blankie. Shabuzi, Uncle Mark, I said.
Barack
How
Obama?
did you know I wanted a paper? Then Kate Middleton, my cousins, and I played the dreidel game. My cousin Bill Clinton put an empty bowl in the center of the table and gave us each our own pile of candy for the game. Kate Middleton went first, spun a shin, and had to put a piece of her candy in the bowl. I could tell she was wanting to sit, but she knew she had to behave. The bowl continued to fill with candy, the most of us spinning shin. Then I spun a gimel. I got the whole bowl of candy. On the way home, I whispered to Kate Middleton that I would share my candy with her, but she had fallen fast asleep.
She's pregnant, so, she's tired. Plus, all that candy's for two now. It's a good thing that Barack Obama did that and not your Uncle Mark.
And I don't think Uncle Mark is Jewish.
Oh my god. Well, that was a giant waste of time.
I think it was the opposite of a waste of time.
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure the only things we learned is that you couldn't find a news story, I'm horrible at grammar, and that was a giant waste of time.
Well, actually, I think sit actually fit in. It said, I could tell she wanted to sit. So actually,
I'm right. I am sit.
I am
I am sit. That's all you need to know.
Right, let's just go to Cosmo. This is going to be our new backup plan. Get your 50 Shades on, girl.
Uh-huh.
Like it or not, 50 Shades of Grey is taking S&M mainstream. A few years ago, we couldn't have spoken so openly about nipple clamps.
Yes! Oh, God, yes. This is going to be good. You go on.
So, here's the guide to S&M for beginners.
Holy shit. Wait, this is in Cosmo?
This is on Cosmo's website.
Here's the best part. Because it's Cosmo, they'll do it wrong. So I can't wait to see what they're going to teach women that is completely inaccurate.
I saw a meme that said, Cosmo's strategy is to give women terrible advice so they become single and then buy Cosmo.
It makes sense. It makes sense. All right, continue. I'd love to hear this.
Number 1 is talk dirty to him. Bringing up S&M with your partner can be shocking and awkward. A great way to test a fantasy is to incorporate it into dirty talk.
Here's the thing. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's not one guy in the world who, if you are like intimate with him and you start talking dirty, there's not one guy who's gonna be like, shh, don't do that. Don't be exactly like the porn that I watch on the internet. Don't do that. You're ruining the mood. No guy's gonna say that. Trust me, ladies. You can never not talk enough. Just keep going. Free flow of information. Just go. Talk about your day. Just whatever.
Just keep going.
Just keep talking.
2012.
There's no way that it could be awkward. No, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't. I'm pretty sure the guy would be like, you might be the one. Marry me.
Pretty sure he wouldn't care by that point.
Yeah.
Safety first is number 2. Physically and emotionally, kink can be heavy. So it's great for long-term couples who already have built up trust. Still,
oh my God.
There's going to be bondage and a little struggle. Have a safe word other than
How
no.
the hell of that? There's still going to be bondage and a little struggle. This isn't civil rights.
Have a safe word other than no. It can be red, banana, something you normally wouldn't say.
Banana.
Yeah, banana.
Banana.
Number 3. See no more. S&M is about seating control, so a good entry point is bringing a blindfold to bed and seeing how you like it. One night, one of you can be the boss. The next night, you switch it up.
Oh my God! Single best. You know what? This may be our best episode.
It may be.
This may have turned it around.
We went from Hanukkah parties to blindfolds. Number 4. Cuff love. We're all about
Seriously?
working up to things gently. Handcuffs are familiar, and most people know how to use them.
No, handcuffs should not be a familiar part of your life. If handcuffs are a familiar part of your life, you are doing it wrong. You are having way too many runs with the law. If that's the thing you're doing all the time, you have a problem.
Who doesn't know how to get out of handcuffs, like, by yourselves? Like, don't you just do that in the back of police cars?
There's nothing more erotic than being handcuffed, and criminals should know. Like, that's what they're saying. Oh my God.
Number 5. Dress the part. There's a whole style to kink. Bring in textures like leather, latex, garters, and high heels. Anything you wouldn't normally wear in bed.
So wear clothes, is what they're saying?
Yeah.
Just keep your clothes on. It'll make it more difficult. Sort of like bondage. It's good enough.
It feels like this is just like the hipster thing to do.
Dude,
I keep my clothes on.
if they make bondage a hipster thing, that is amazing. S&M needs to become a hipster thing. I was in S&M before. It was cool.
I was at S&M before 50 Shades of Grey.
You know there's someone out there just like that, too. Like, now that all these soccer moms are dressing up like S&M hoes, now I have to do something even more kinky. I'm going to dress up like a soccer mom.
And then the world just comes full circle.
Yep, and that's just in time for the Mayan apocalypse.
Exactly.
When the robots take over, there's no more time for kink. Sex
No
is
more.
all about ones and zeros.
And pleasing the robot overlords. Number 6.
I don't even want to know what that means.
I don't either. Light biting. When you're really turned on, pain can feel a lot like pleasure. You don't
Oh
have to
my
get
God.
a punishing spanking from Christian Grey to get a kick out of pain. Well, it has a link to Christian Grey.
Oh
I
boy.
didn't-
I hope it's a
I didn't know
Wikipedia
that.
page, and it's like Christian Grey, like this fake character who is actually a fan fiction of Edward from Twilight.
It is 9 guys who should play Christian Grey.
You know what? Funny story. No one cares. No one should play Christian Grey because that is
for the
awful.
41 people that shared it on Facebook.
41 people. I'm gonna say 39 of those 41 are over the age of 40.
Most likely.
I've been married for 22 years, and this finally made me experience life. Spoiler, you've been doing it wrong.
Number 7. The sound of music. Music helps drown out the world around you and lets you focus on the pleasure at hand.
No,
Try
music-
9
music-
Inch Nails, Muse, Radiohead, the Brazilian.
What? Yes, nothing says hot eroticism like listening to the song "Hurt" sung by 9 Inch Nails. Muse, you can listen to "Resistance" by Muse. That will definitely get you in the banging mood. There's like 3 songs from each of the bands you listed. out of their catalog of like almost 50 songs, probably more, only 3 that I can think of would be appropriate for an S&M session.
Or it recommends Marilyn Manson or Prince.
Yes, because I definitely want to be like that. I want that happening when I'm doing you.
Yeah.
That's very erotic.
Very.
He might as well play songs like "I'm like a bird, I want to fly away," like that. Same effect, just embarrassing yourself.
Number 8. Put a ring on it. 150
No.
Shades of Play tells you about
No.
all sorts of S&M, including tamakeri,
No.
the Japanese fetish.
No, I'm sorry. What was that?
Tamakeri,
What is that?
the Japanese fetish of getting kicked in the balls.
I'm sorry. What?
The Japanese fetish of getting kicked in the balls.
That is only a fetish the Japanese could love.
I don't understand how that works.
I like how they have to specifically say the Japanese fetish. Like,
Like,
if
this is Japan?
if they said the fetish of getting kicked in the balls, I would have been like, first off, that is no one's fetish.
And it says, of course, if your partner wants you to kick him in the balls, that's probably not the best first step.
Thank you, Cosmo. You're making life so much better.
So much better. Number 9, light my candle. BDSM temperature play is a scale from ice to candle wax. Be careful to use only plain white candles. Scented candles burn too hot. Blow the candle out, test the wax on your hand first, and when it hits the skin, massage it in.
Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Here's the best part. If you were in college, you probably experienced 90% of this. I'm not gonna lie. At some point in your young life, you've probably experimented or seen enough, especially with the internet now, to know that this stuff is, you've seen every one of this. Like, none of this is new. None of it. And if you do it, you've chosen to do it. And if you don't do it, it's because you've chosen not to do it. This is for people who are living in an Amish community somewhere who have never experienced life outside their small town.
That's a great quote by you. If they did it, they did it. And if they didn't do it, they didn't do it. Jesse Cox, 2012.
I want that on my tombstone. right next to my robot wife. Knock
Yes.
knock.
And number 10 is toys and girls. Handing over the controls of your toy to your partner suddenly seems a lot more kinky than doing it on your own.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would me giving her the controls to my RC racer be kinkier?
It doesn't
I don't
really
understand.
Make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna give her my G.I. Joes. That's just stupid.
It is. I'm not sharing.
Yeah, that's dumb. This one's stupid. Doesn't even make sense, Cosmo.
Extremely stupid.
You save your
Cosmo,
best for last, and you want me to give away my Ninja Turtles? Screw you, lady.
I have a very close relationship with my Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep. I can't see that they'd be talking about anything else.
What would they be talking about?
I don't know.
I grew
If
up
they
in
were-
a
if they were
strict
talking-
Amish community, by the way.
If they were talking about anything else, you'd think they would just come out and say it. And not beat around the bush, because that'd be stupid.
When I grew up in my Amish school, all we had was toy little straw men that we played stickball with. and pretended to farm.
Uh-huh. Yep. Well,
And then we went and gathered the crops.
who
and
here
went-
has never been Amish?
I saw Amish people once in my life. It was in Indiana.
They seem pretty content, I'm not gonna lie.
They do.
I met a lot of Amish people, and they always seem pretty okay with being Amish. I'm like, that's good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you don't have to read Cosmo every day and be told how much you suck at everything, you know, you turn out pretty great. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for listening, and we will be back tomorrow with another exciting episode of Cox and Crendor in the Morning. And as always,
Ding ding!
to be continued.